What's going on, guys? So today I want to do a quick video on how to replace the grill inserts on your WK2 Grand Cherokee without removing the bumper. Now I know there's a couple other videos out there on the YouTube right now. One guy did it without taking the bumper off. Other videos I've seen, the guys took the bumper off. I'm lazy, to be honest with you. I'm 100% convinced I can do this without taking the bumper off. I'm going to show you the tools that I purchased in order to do this. Super cheap. Also, I'm going to show you guys the inserts that I'm using. I got them off of Amazon, so they're not OEM inserts, and I'm going to discuss that here in a little bit and show you guys what I got, give you my thoughts on that. But yeah, I just want to do a video on this and prove to you guys that it can be done. Now, that being said, I'm not a huge guy, right? I'm 6 foot, 165 pounds. I don't have abnormally large hands, so if you do have like huge bear paws, this might be a problem for you, but if you're like an average dude, it should work. Or lady, I guess. This is 2020. So anyways, yeah, I just want to show you guys real quick how this all is going to go down. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the tools that I purchased specifically for this. So I don't know about y'all, but I love Harbor Freight. Everything's super cheap and generally has always worked for me the way that I need to. So I bought this trim removal tool set. You know, they got plastic ones that are cheap. This was, I think, like 20 bucks for decent metal ones. I figure why not spend the money, you know. So on the grill, you know, you do have these two little plastic rivets that hold it in place. This one has obviously been removed. This one I removed and then decided that I was going to make a video, so I put it back in. It's a little two-piece deal, so you want to take this middle piece out like so. If you guys are familiar with how rivets work, then you will understand why you do that. So you take that middle piece out, and then that second piece comes right out. So I can reuse these as my little pile of stuff. Now, the interesting part, once you've got this all done, you just peel this back. This is where I said it's handy to have, I guess, little girl hands, because I can fit my hand down in here. So there's two screws that hold each one of these inserts on. So, well, there's 7 total, so it's 14 screws you got to undo. What I did was I spent $2.99 on this handy dandy ratcheting screwdriver. It's definitely cheap, but it does the job. You get my little girl hands in here and can ratchet and remove the screws. So it came with a couple other bits and stuff for it. For $3, you know, why not? So that's what I'm using to remove these, and then I'll catch you guys once I get them all out. Okay, so I got all of the little grill inserts out. This thing actually came in handy. I mean, you can see, like, man, my hands are dirty. Get that. It's gonna happen. I mean, the right thing to do is to take the bumper off, but like I said, I'm lazy, and I would rather cut myself and bleed than put any more effort into tearing off the bumper on this thing. So, it really wasn't too bad. Like I said, there's 2 bolts, or 2 screws that hold each one in place. What I should have done when I was at Harbor Freight was pick up one of those like $3 extendable magnets, like I assumed I was going to need, just in the odd chance that I dropped a screw or something down here, and I didn't, and once you know it, the very last screw that I was trying to get off fell down into the shadow realm, never to be found again. I've tried to reach in there. My mom always said don't reach into any dark holes that you can't see. Other than a drunken night in Seattle, I've pretty much tried to abide by that, and yeah, it's gone forever, so I'll probably replace it at some point, but no big deal. So anyways, moving on. So these are what the OEM inserts look like. They're pretty simple. You know, you got this black frame, that's what the screws go into, and then you have these 4 little clips that hold the chrome piece in. those will have to be, you know, pulled back. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to end up probably breaking them, if we're being honest. Some genius that designed this decided that that was a good idea. I've already taken one off and yeah, broke them, so no big deal. I mean, probably is a big deal to people that care, but not for me. So anyways, I'm gonna finish breaking the rest of these and then hit y'all back. Alright, so I got all of the chrome inserts out. Actually managed to get them all out of the housings without breaking any more of those these little tabs. Some of them came out like butter, some of them were a little stiffer, but yeah, so just the first one is one that I broke, so lesson learned, I guess. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the new ones, the new grill inserts in. Now, I did not order apparently OEM inserts. I ordered some stuff off of Amazon because, well, to be honest, we're in the middle of the COVID pandemic right now. So if you guys are watching this and it's recent, you guys know what I'm talking about. If this is like the year 2027 and y'all are watching this, you probably read about it in a history book, but shipping gets delayed on a lot of things. So a lot of the websites that I looked at, you know, like justforjeeps.com, they had these inserts, but the shipping was delayed for like 2-3 weeks. I'm impatient, so Amazon, I found this and I was like, yeah, why not? Still like 75 bucks, and I thought it was just the black version of this. Turns out it's not. So as you guys can see, it has this adhesive tape on the back of it. This is all one piece. Now that wouldn't be an issue if, you know, it had these things to screw in. So by logic, my assumption is I need to use this adhesive tape and basically tape them onto the stock housings. Now I've already kind of test fit this into the grill without sticking them on, and it does sit flush, so you really won't know that this is basically applied to this outer housing. It should look fine. Just not a fan of that. So live and learn and then get loves, I guess. But so what I'm going to do, like I said, we're in the middle of the COVID pandemic, so basic things like rubbing alcohol or anything like that are difficult to come by. But I, being a former Army medic, have a huge supply of alcohol wipes, so I'm going to wipe these housings down and get all this dirt, grease, grime, all that stuff off of them so that I'm going to have a nice clean surface, and then I'm going to attach these on there and put them all back in place. So that's the next step. Okay, so real quick before I put the new inserts in, for those of you guys that are watching this as a actual tutorial, in case you were not aware, I guess I took it for granted, but if you notice, these are the housings that came off, and they are all sort of different shaped, you know, as they kind of follow that curvature of the grill to the left and the right side. So as I took them off, what I did is I kind of just took them off and spaced them so that they kind of line up with how they go into the grill, just to make sure that when I do put the new inserts in place, I put them with the right ones. So didn't want to take that for granted, that everybody knew that. Just kind of want to point that out. I mean, it seems pretty obvious, but for those that are not as mechanically inclined, that is a little helpful tip. So for those of you guys that aren't addicted to Amazon like I am, and you actually order these but in black from like Just for Jeeps, they will just clip back into place like the silver ones did. So just wanted to point that out as well. Yeah, stay off Amazon. Alright, so we are finished with the install. So I wiped down the stock housings with like a cleaner degreaser, and then I went over that after it dried with alcohol wipes just to get a good clean surface to mate that adhesive to. Everything went in fairly well. I mean, I do have a few scratches and cuts and bleeding a little bit. The only one that really gave me any fits was this one right here, trying to get the bolt in this hole. That was a real Carol Baskin. Not easy. I'm not left-handed, so my left hand really is pretty much useless, as I've come to find out over the years. So just the awkward positioning of trying to deal with all the plastic and stuff, it made it kind of a difficult thing to get it in there, but coincidentally that was the one that we dropped the bolt out of into the shadow realm. So, but anyways, it turned out pretty good. Let's drop the hood here, take a look-see. So, yep, so this was a 2017 Grand Cherokee Altitude. This is really how it should look from the factory. I know a lot of people say that. I don't get why you would black out literally everything else on this vehicle except for those inserts. Maybe some engineer at Jeep is a sadist and just thinks it's funny because they know that people are going to want to do this. So, hindsight being what it is, yes, you can do this without taking the grill off. Would I recommend it? Honestly, probably not. Historically, in my experience, taking bumpers off of cars has never turned out well. They usually don't go back on as well as they came off. That's just my experience. How this is going to turn out, you know, over time with these things being stick-on, I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm going to guess in probably a year at most, I'm going to end up just ordering some OEM grill inserts and redoing this whole thing. I'm not real confident in that. So, you know, I broke my own rule. I purchased something on Amazon that was not name brand or an OEM part. I should know better by now. Trying to not do things cheap, but I mean, realistically, they weren't priced any different than OEM parts. The benefit was 2-day free prime shipping versus waiting 2 to 3 weeks. So lesson learned there. But I don't know, if I have problems with them, I will definitely make a video and let y'all know. But as you can see, she looks pretty good. I'm happy. Don't forget to like and subscribe because there will be plenty more Jeep videos coming up. I've got lowering springs and new rear shocks to put in. Might be doing that this weekend. Who knows? So, see ya.